Hello, my name is David Hamaker. I am currently the State Color Guard Commander for the state of Texas, past chapter commander, past chapter president. I am currently the state president of the War of 1812. I hold many jobs. I'm on several committees with the SAR and so forth. I was asked to come in and talk to you about my Patriot ancestor, one of 28 that I know of that I have proven. His name is Peter Sides. Peter Sides is my 6th great-grandfather. Peter was born about 1750, North Carolina. His original last name was Seitz. We know he came from the Switzerland area and what is now like Germany, but he grew up in North Carolina. He served as an ensign in the 2nd Battalion of the North Carolina Regiment. Later, he became a lieutenant in the Revolutionary War. After the war, he married his wife, Barbara Carpenter. Her original last name was Zimmerman, but prior to the American Revolution, we had to take foreign names and angelicalize them. So her last name became Carpenter. So Peter and his father-in-law, Christian, both signed the Declaration of Patriotism against the Crown of Tryon County in North Carolina. So that's one way he fought for American freedom. He also joined the American Revolution cause by going into South Carolina. He received a land grant for his service in what was known as the state of Davidson, which later became Davidson County, Tennessee, which is basically Nashville, Tennessee. He owned property there. He joined the militia there. He was a lieutenant. After a period of time, he sold his land, moved to Kentucky, and became a lieutenant there in that part of the world. Each location, he had a couple of kids born. And there's records in Tennessee showing that, again, he was a lieutenant in the militia as well as in Kentucky. In 1799, he moved his family to East Baton Rouge Parish, Louisiana. This was a time of much upheaval in that part of the world because of French and Spain having treaties. They both thought they owned the same piece of property, basically. It appears Spain was in control of East Baton Rouge during the time of 1799. A few years later, the government was still kind of undecided as to who actually owned it and claimed it, and actually who owned the entire Gulf Coast Strip. France resulted in selling the property, and of course, you know, everybody was fighting over, well, you couldn't sell our property and so forth. But we're not sure exactly where Peter Sides falls in the West Florida battle. We know he was involved, but now to say, was he there for the armed struggles of independence, which led to the discovery of the Republic of West Florida, we're not 100% positive, but we do know that during all of this time of where the different areas he was in, the different militias he was in, moving to the upheaval they had in Louisiana, him and his wife managed to have 6 kids. 2 of his sons joined the War of 1812. I have all of this documented. And so about this time, he was contacted by the Gutierrez-McGee expedition, which we're going to cover that real quickly here. He was offered $40 a month and 4,000 acres to join this expedition. And he took him up on it. This was about 1810 or so. So in order to understand kind of what was going on, the Gutierrez-McGee expedition was coming into Texas to free the oppressed people in Texas, or what was known as this area, from Spain. This is prior to Mexico owning it. So in order to understand what was happening we'll just review Texas history real briefly. Texas belonged to Spain in 1812, as did all of Mexico. There was a few attempts at trying to free the people here. Spain technically was doing nothing for the people here in any fashion. Jose Bernardo Gutierrez de Lara and Augustus William McGee are the 2 that formed this expedition to come to Texas. They were encouraged by the United States to do so. The United States didn't actually hire them because they couldn't get involved in something like that, but they did support some of the things. They became known as the Army of the North. They adopted a green flag. August the 7th in 1812, they left Louisiana through what they called the neutral ground, came into Texas, and soon captured Nacogdoches, Trinidad del Salcido, La Bahia, and this is where Augustus McGee died, and then they came to Texas, San Antonio. So there was a Texas Declaration of Independence signed there, and it was proclaimed April 6, 1813. So it lasted for a couple of years. However, it was short-lived. Commandant General Joaquin de Arredondo, who was the Commandant General of 1,830 men, started marching from Laredo to San Antonio and said, okay, well, we're going to stop this rebellion. We're going to take care of this. So the Republican Army, or the Army of the North, they had about 1,400 men, which was composed of Anglos, Tejanos, Indians, former Royalists, anybody they could get, basically. They marched up into an area approximately 20 miles south of San Antonio, of what we know today, between the Atascosa and the Medina rivers. There they planned to ambush the Royalists as they come along and said, okay, well, we'll take care of the Spanish as they come through. And at this time, Santa Anna, which we know from Texas history, who was a general and so forth, he was just a captain to a lieutenant. He didn't hold a lot of rank. He was still young. So the next morning, the Royalists came up by, they sent a scouting party out. Well, they ended up flushing out the Texas Army of the North. Anyway, that's where it became the Battle of Medina. So if you've never heard of the Battle of Medina, it's something to look up. Generally, most of the time when you go to school and you learn Texas history, you learn Goliad, Gonzales, San Jacinto, and Alamo. The Battle of Medina is known as the bloodiest battle on Texas soil. On April the 18th, 1813, there was this battle, and we were defeated. But then, of course, Mexico sent a governor in and so forth, and Texas was under Mexican control for a while, and then we took it over at the Alamo, of course. And so again, the Battle of Medina is known as the bloodiest battle on Texas soil. I encourage you to read something about it. So Peter Sides, which is my sixth great-grandfather and my direct ancestor, he fought many battles during his life. And at the age of about 63 years of age, in the Battle of Medina, the story is told and records prove that his troop jumped into battle and his last words were, "Come on, boys," and he went in to fight. Unfortunately, many of those boys turned tail and ran. And again, we can only speculate as to what would motivate a man of his age that would want to fight at his age. Was it the promise of land? Was it maybe just a chance to make another stand for freedom? Or maybe just a quest for adventure? I don't know. I would really like to talk to him one day and ask him, why did he do that? I just want to honor my grandfather in some fashion. So I thank Peter for all that he did and for his beliefs in the liberties and freedoms that we have today. Thank you very much, and I appreciate you letting me share that.